Hey guys, what's up? It's Jeff from TheGeekBlend, and welcome to another episode of the podcast, which remains untitled still. I haven't thought of a title for it exactly yet, so I think I'm just going to go with the Geek Blend podcast. So this Wednesday will be my main podcast, like a go through all the news and just different things we want to talk about for the week, and then I'm going to try to do a couple offshoot podcasts, which include a Star Wars podcast that I want to do. Probably will be like a Monday or a Thursday kind of podcast. But back to this one. So I hope you guys are having a great week. I know I'm looking forward to the weekend. I hope you are too. I'm sure you are. Ready for this week to be over. Going out of town this weekend, so a little bit less content this week. So I apologize for that. A lot of videos lately I've been planning on doing. Just haven't got around to doing it. Me and my wife throw a Halloween party every year at our house for our family and friends where we live, and it's been kind of taking over a little bit. We've had to get a lot of stuff done, a lot of stuff cleaned this week because we are out of town this weekend, so we'll be quite busy there. So that's kind of taking up my life a little bit right now, but when that's done, things will kind of go back to normal a little bit, and I'll be able to get right back into some more stuff, some more reviews and some more things like that, because I got some videos I really want to get done, highlighting some new stuff I've got, so and some other cool stuff coming. So let's get into today's podcast. I just got a list of stuff written down here I wanted to kind of get into today and discuss. Let's start off with collectors and collecting. And do you guys collect at all? I mean, I do collect some stuff. I'm not a huge collector. I have some Star Wars stuff, some Black Series figures, and some of the 3 3/4 inch scales, and some of the Power of the Force figures, and different other Star Wars things here and there. Like, I do have quite a few of the Funko Pop collectibles, bobbleheads. I do like those. A lot of the exclusives, especially. But mostly Star Wars in that area, and a few Batman v Superman ones, and like Aquaman and Wonder Woman. But lately, I've actually got into a more expensive hobby that I'm really smacking myself over. But I really enjoy this hobby. It's collecting the Sideshow Collectibles stuff, or the Hot Toys figures. The 1/6 scale figures. I do like those quite a bit. My first Sideshow Collectible premium format figure, kind of like a statue that I got, was last year in September for my birthday from my wife, and she got a lot of people, my family and friends, together to kind of go in on this. It's a Darth Vader Mythos statue. You guys should check that out on Google, but it's a really amazing looking statue. My favorite piece I have in my collection. And then Christmas of last year, I got the Kylo Ren 1/6 scale Hot Toys collectible figure for Christmas from my mother-in-law, which was an amazing gift. I just got Rey and BB-8, the figure set from Hot Toys, about a month ago. And then last week I picked up my local comic shop with some trade that I traded in on some stuff. I picked up the Man of Steel Superman 1/6 scale Hot Toys figure. They're beautiful figures. The head sculpts are incredible. And I do love the figures. I've kind of gotten into it a little bit. I have another one on pre-order. And I have one coming tomorrow, actually. It's the Batman v Superman regular Batman, exclusive with the sniper rifle, 1/6 scale collectible figure. So I'm really looking forward to that. For what I've seen, it looks like a great figure. Really looking forward to getting out, kind of futzing with it and getting like set up a little bit, see if I want to do any mods on it. I haven't done any mods on the figures I have now. The Kylo Ren, if I do mods, I think I'm going to do that first. And maybe like there's a cape shoulder mod for the Man of Steel Superman. I might get into that one, but other than that, I'm probably not going to do a lot of mods because I'm afraid to mess with these expensive figures. But I do see a lot of videos and people out in the community that do a lot of the mods that I might end up having do one of mine if I get too nervous to the point where I don't want to do it. So, but that's kind of what I collect right now. Here and there, I do see something I like, and if I have a little bit of extra money, even if I don't, I still end up getting it. That's financially, I do kind of suffer sometimes because of that, but it's kind of the thing with collecting. You kind of either you have the money or you don't, or you know, I don't want to look back when I'm older and say to myself, why didn't I get some more things that I like to collect or wanted to have that, you know, I could have struggled a little bit one month, but I would still been able to afford to eat, and, you know, still would have, you know, I mean, that's what I like to do. So, but yeah, I mean, so do you guys like to collect or not? I mean, that's a big thing, especially with Star Wars fans, and I find comic book fans and even comic book movie fans that don't read a lot of comics still tend to collect a little bit here and there. So that's what I like to collect. So, I mean, I just wanted to kind of talk about that with you guys a little bit. I'm going to move on to the next topic, which is the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 teaser that was released today. I'm not going to really do a review. I've got the actual trailer playing right now in the background, just checking it out. But it looks like a really fun film. The last one was great. It's still in my top 3 or 4 Marvel films. I mean, I really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. I didn't expect a lot out of it. I thought it would be great, but I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was. I think a lot of people were very surprised, but it's Chris Pratt, brings a lot to it, and the chemistry of the whole cast was just always fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to this one. James Gunn is a great director. He did such a great job with the first one. I just really looking forward to see how this one plays out, and really excited. And I do know that they're not going to show Thanos in this one, not focus on him, so that'd be nice to not see him until Infinity War. I mean, we've already been teased quite a bit, so let's see him in full force next time. But the little back and forth between Drax and Star-Lord was fantastic, talking about either you dance or you don't, and Gamora doesn't dance, kind of hinting that the relationship between Gamora and Star-Lord, the romantic side that they were like kind of hinting towards, probably hasn't got off to where we thought it was going to be, but I'm guessing that'll kind of play a little bit towards in the film. And then, of course, at the very, very end, you got your very, very quick glimpse of Rocket Raccoon and Baby Groot on his shoulder, which was really cool to see Baby Groot. I'm interested to see how that dynamic of that is going to play out. Just how that's going to work. I mean, it's really going to be a cool thing to see, like that dynamic with Baby Groot. Is he still the same kind of Groot? Does he kind of have to grow back into himself again? Is he still? It's going to be really cool to see that. I'm really excited to see how that plays out. They also released I guess you could say, a teaser poster for it with the Guardians of the Galaxy, which Yondu, Nebula, Gamora, Star-Lord, Drax, Rocket, and Baby Groot on Star-Lord's ankle, like peeking around his ankle. I will say this, I was really excited to see it, but then once you kind of look at it a little bit more, it's very photoshopped. You can tell that what looks to me like that Gamora, Zoe Saldana, was not there the day I don't know. It looks like she's photoshopped in. Pratt and the others, they look like they're there, and she's not. So I don't know if they just did so much touch-up work on her face. I don't know. It just really doesn't look that great. It's really cool to see them all together like that, though. But the picture is just completely photoshopped too much. They should have polished it a little bit more and taken their time with it. But I'm really glad we got the trailer as well, because if we were only talking about this poster, people would be very disappointed. I know it's a big thing to nitpick a poster, I know, but it doesn't look the greatest. I mean, I don't really think it looks that great. So, I mean, that's, form your own thoughts about it. Like I said, it's really cool to see them all together like that, and to see the new Guardians team, and to see Yondu has the complete fin on his head like that. That's pretty cool to see that. But I'm excited to see how Nebula is going to work with the team, with Gamora, see how they work out together, seeing as how they didn't get along in the last film because of Thanos and his love for Gamora over Nebula. So it's going to be interesting to see that. I'm really excited to see this movie. I believe it's May 5th, and regular 3D, and then real 3D, and then IMAX 3D, which is the format I'm going to be seeing is IMAX 3D. Of course, why wouldn't you see a film in IMAX 3D if you had the choice? Because if you see a film in IMAX and you go back to a regular theater, it's like, I can't do this again unless it's not an IMAX. So that film's going to open up on May 5th, and it stars Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Bradley Cooper, Vin Diesel, Karen Gillan, Michael Rooker, and more, including Kurt Russell, which I'm excited to see that too. He's such a great actor. It's going to be such a great addition to that team. So looking forward to that. So another big thing that kind of dropped today, I guess you could say, it dropped, I guess, it was a picture of Hugh Jackman as Old Man Logan. And, Logan kind of looking like Old Man Logan, if you want to say. People keep saying Old Man Logan, but it's not Old Man Logan, okay? He's just Logan, because Old Man Logan, that storyline, they cannot do it because of the characters that Marvel owns that they do not. But yeah, he looks quite a bit like him in the teaser image they released, and he posted on Twitter. But I don't know. We've seen a few set photos here and there with this picture, but now it's a very kind of, I don't know, rugged, battered look at Wolverine, with the full beard and kind of the scars all over his face and kind of that intense look, the gray in the top of his hair, a lot older looking. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they play this out. I haven't read much about this film. I did not see the Wolverine. I completely despise the X-Men Origins Wolverine with 99% of the people in the world. But I'm really interested to see what James Mangold does with this. I've heard the Wolverine is really good. I actually do have the Wolverine. Have just never watched it. So I need to probably watch that soon, especially before this comes out in March of 2017, which is coming up soon. But I'm excited to see that, and it seems like there's going to be a trailer tomorrow online. And they did release a teaser for a teaser, like just a real quick snippet of Hugh Jackman, like kind of on a hill in like dark kind of setting, but him talking. But yeah, it's going to be a teaser trailer tomorrow. So it's a little close for already. I mean, I kind of expected a teaser trailer for this and for Guardians back in the summer because of being less than a year away. You thought we would get a lot more, but I think they just wanted to kind of have some more complete shots. So I'm okay with that, but I'm interested to see what the trailer looks like. I don't have any opinions either way on this. It could go either way. So we'll see. I'm excited to see what they do with it. I mean, is it going to look good? Is it going to look shit? We'll see when the trailer comes out. But so that's going to be very interesting to check out too, with to see how that's going to play out. If he does look like Old Man Logan in the trailer or not. So we shall see. So that trailer will be coming out tomorrow. So everybody's kind of looking forward to that. Next up, we're going to talk about the show Star Wars Rebels. It's a show that I really like, and it's a Star Wars-based show, so I'm going to watch it. I love the Clone Wars. I'm really excited what they've done with Rebels so far. I'm not going to get really into detail about reviewing all the episodes. Once I get the Star Wars podcast up and running, I'll probably do a more in-depth discussion of each week's episode of Star Wars Rebels to go along with the Star Wars podcast, just in case there's not a whole lot of news going on that week. So after Rogue One, after December, I'm sure the Star Wars news will slow down a little bit, but a lot of the speculation will ramp up for Episode 8, and that's where I'm going to be excited about getting into as well. Don't get me wrong, I'm hugely excited for Rogue One. I'm excited to see the return of Darth Vader. The characters in that trailer and in what I've read so far, it's going to be a very interesting film. I actually think it's going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. I'll be there opening night in December, so looking forward to that. But Star Wars Rebels is an animated on Disney XD, animated show on Disney XD, like the Clone Wars was on Cartoon Network, but it's based on like the start of the Rebel Alliance. And I watched 2 episodes this week. I watched The Wedge Extraction and Hera's Heroes. Really quickly about the Wedge Extraction, it was kind of a really kind of high five to the fans. Like, look, it's Wedge Antilles. I mean, it was really cool to see Wedge and his youth joining the rebellion, defecting from the Empire. Spoilers, by the way, for the episode. If you haven't seen it, I apologize. I didn't say that early enough. But yes, so yeah, it was a really good episode. Really kind of a little bit of a filler episode, just kind of a wink to the fans. But I liked it. I really enjoyed that part of it. I really liked to see Wedge like that. It was cool to see another character from the original trilogy kind of pop in there, like Princess Leia did last year. So that's really cool. I'm really loving that. So, but it was a good episode all in all. It kind of it focused on Sabine a little bit more, which was cool. She doesn't get a lot of episodes, a lot of focus on her. So that was really cool to see. In Hera's Heroes, the very, very beginning, it shows Cham Syndulla, Hera's father, and another one of the Twi'leks trying to escape from the Empire. And then our rebels show up and take care of the Empire chasing them and rescue them. And they realize that their home, where she grew up, their city, their like home kind of, I don't know, their temple, what it looked like kind of thing, is being taken over by the Empire. And there's a relic that is in there that is passed down from generations of their family that she wants to get back. So they take a personal mission to go get that back. Her and Ezra and Chopper go in, and the rest to go distract the Empire so they can get in. This episode showcased a lot of Grand Admiral Thrawn. I was really excited to see that. And man, what a character he is. He's very subtle and calm and collective. And I just love what he's doing. He got very angry at the Imperial officer or admiral or officer for calling Hera Twi'lek trash and not understanding culture and other races in the galaxy. That's another thing that comes into play with the Empire that a lot of the expanded universe novels got into, that Palpatine was very racist and he only wanted humans. Mostly humans in the Empire, and he didn't like a lot of the aliens. He was more kind of against the aliens. That's why you see a lot of aliens in the Rebel Alliance, because the rebels accepted the aliens. So, but yeah, Grand Admiral Thrawn is really playing out well. I'm really excited to see. They even said something at the beginning of the episode. Cham Syndulla said something to Hera and the crew that this commander that had been there from the Empire, the way he strategically took over their area, it wasn't something that he would do. It didn't feel like what he would do because he's very clumsy and he wouldn't have done it so strategically. And immediately my mind was like, I guarantee you Thrawn was the one who did that, because he's more of a very, very precise, striking character. And he's going to learn your weakness and exploit it. That's what this episode was about. Him watching and learning from Hera. And he ended up letting them go in the end because they managed to escape, and he said they earned their victory, let them go. So he was watching her, and he even said he was watching her, and he said, your move, Captain, as he was talking to himself about what they were going to do next when they escaped at the end. Really cool to see that, though, that he's actually studying what they're doing to see how to play against them very well, which is what a strategic admiral would do. So it makes quite a bit of sense. But it was a really great episode. I love Hera episodes. I think they're great. She's a great character, one of my favorites on the show. Such a good time to see her dynamic with other characters, and they're like Ezra, and then her playing off Grand Admiral Thrawn was even more fun to watch. So, great episode. One of my favorites in a while. Really looking forward to what the rest of the season has to offer on Star Wars Rebels on Disney XD. So that's Star Wars Rebels. That's another TV show from this week. So let's dive into some more TV. I have not watched the latest episodes of The Flash and Arrow. A little bit behind on some stuff. We were watching Legends of Tomorrow, streaming it from the CW app to our Apple TV. And our internet has been really shit lately. So, of course, it craps out with like 10 minutes left. So we didn't get to finish it. With all the other stuff we've had going on this weekend and ready to go out of town and trying to get ready for our get-together next week. It's been real hectic, so we'll have a lot of stuff to catch up on next week. But I did watch a few things from last week, including The Exorcist and Lucifer and a couple other shows. I wanted to kind of touch on this new show on Fox called The Exorcist. I don't know if anybody out there has watched it. If you're a fan of horror at all, like I am, or if you're a fan of the original film or any kind of genre kind of stuff like that, I definitely encourage you to check it out. The first episode really kind of pulls you in. It is a little bit slow, a slow burn in the beginning. The episode I thought was still really great, the first episode. I don't think, some people thought it was boring. I disagree. I think it really pulled you in and showed you what the show was going to be, showed you the characters that were involved, made you care for them immediately, gave you a family and other characters, supporting characters to care about in this show. So it's been a really good journey. There are 4 episodes in. And it's one of the ones I want to see the most every week. And my wife, who's not a big horror fan as much, really loving it too. So it's really gripping, really pulls you in. Great characters, great story, and just a really, really overwhelming sense of dread, and something really big is coming. So I'm really excited to see where they take this. I'm not really going to get into reviews of certain episodes. I just kind of want to discuss the show and say that it's my new favorite show that's on, my new favorite of the new shows that are on right now that I am currently watching. There aren't a lot. I don't have as much time as I would like to watch some of the shows, but it's one of the ones I'm currently watching. Also, another one I like and we both like really well is Lucifer on Fox. The guy who plays Lucifer, I don't have it in front of me, but he just nails it on this show. Nails it. And it's just a really good dynamic between him and Maze, the demon that watches over him and protects him and keeps him safe. And Amenadiel, his brother, the angel, and the detective, Detective Decker, that he works with at the police department. So, and now the introduction of his mother as well, played by Battlestar Galactica alum Tricia Helfer. It's really cool to see her back on TV. Saw her for a brief bit in Supernatural after Battlestar Galactica. I think she's been in a few other things, but it's good to kind of see her up front and kind of in a more meaty, juicy role like this, playing the mother of Lucifer and on Lucifer on Fox. So it's a really good show. I really urge you guys to check it out. I know I didn't really kind of get into discussing more about the story and everything like that, but if you guys really like the show and you kind of give me a little bit more feedback about it, I will start reviewing some of it, like really quick reviews here and there of the TV. If I get enough to that point, I'll start probably doing a single TV show episode that week, and I can do quick little snippets of reviews for the week. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm going to just stick with this main podcast for now, and if it kind of branches out, we'll do a little bit more on the TV side. Maybe I'll get a little bit more time to watch some of this stuff. So let's move on from TV. I didn't watch a lot this week. I mean, we watched a few other things we have on Hulu. We're watching the Mindy Project as well right now currently, which is hilarious. We keep up on Brooklyn Nine-Nine and New Girl, which are great shows, great comedy shows on Fox. I don't watch Modern Family like I want to. I used to. I didn't get out of it. I got to the point where I didn't have cable at one point, and it wasn't offered on Hulu, so I didn't get to catch up on it. So when it gets done and I get back to, I'll catch up on that. There's quite a few shows I want to watch. I'm currently watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm in the middle of season 2, but that's a love-or-hate relationship with that show. I tell you what, anybody who watches that show or knows what I'm talking about, one week it's just so good, and then the next week or the next 2 or 3 weeks it's like, holy shit, what are you doing? Are you really just... Did you just give up? Are you not going to do this anymore because you just literally just gave up? But it's such hit or miss. I really enjoy the characters and I love what they're doing on the show, but then they just sometimes they don't pull it off. The execution is not there. But I kind of wanted to get through it, so I wanted to get to the new season so I could see Ghost Rider because I'm really interested in checking that out. So that's it for that TV stuff. TV stuff. Let's stay on that really quickly. I got an article up here in front of me I wanted to touch on very briefly. The Walking Dead, in a surprise to no one, is officially renewed for a 16-episode Season 8 next year. And no surprise, of course, it's a hugely popular show. One of my favorites on TV. Just great characters, great dynamic, not just about the zombies and the zombie apocalypse, but just the character and the character study on that show is what the best part of that show is to me. It's really exciting. I'm really getting more excited to see the season premiere that's coming up this weekend on AMC. I believe it's Sunday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But to see who did Negan take out with Lucille at the end of last season. Everybody has their theories and speculations. I know I do. I think it's Glenn. I know that's the same as the comic, but I don't think they're going to... I think it's Glenn for obvious reasons. I think it's Glenn because they want people to speculate on everybody else. Because they haven't done a lot. They followed a lot of the comics, but there's some people they haven't killed off from the comics where they should have in the show. So I think it's Glenn, and I'm going to stick by that. So we'll see you next week if I was right. But my pick is that Negan is going to bash the shit out of Glenn and kill him with Lucille. And man, I'm really excited for Negan. I mean, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is one of my favorites on TV. He was my favorite part of Supernatural Season 1. When he came on, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles. That's one of my favorite shows on TV as well. It just started. I haven't watched the premiere yet. Excited to check that out. But anytime Jeffrey Dean Morgan was in the season with them, their dynamic as a family was one of my favorite parts. I wish they would have kept him on longer. Or hopefully down the road he'll come back somehow, some way. But with his big role on The Walking Dead as Negan, I don't see that happening. So, but good to him on getting this just juicy, fantastic role. You could tell in interviews when he was cast that he was just over the frickin' moon about this one because it's a character people have been wanting and waiting for since The Walking Dead was announced and came on. I heard people whispering, "Well, I hope they get far enough so we can get Negan. I really hope they get far enough so we can see Negan. That'd be great to see Negan on TV." But then a lot of people were saying, how are they going to do Negan on TV? He cusses like every single sentence. I mean, all he's saying is F this, F that. I mean, I know they're doing a lot of like unrated episodes and stuff on the Blu-ray and the DVD. So I'll have to check that out so I can get the full Negan experience. So, but I'm really excited that coming back. Really excited they got renewed for a 16-episode Season 8 next year. So that's going to be great to see Walking Dead come back. Because it's such a good show, And I really need to get caught up on Fear the Walking Dead. I watched the first season, had not watched the second, but I don't have cable. I have Hulu, I have Netflix, and a couple other things. And it's not, the first season is on Hulu. And I thought because of the contract with AMC and Hulu that we were going to see season 2 soon. But no, it doesn't look like it until it's over. So as soon as that's done, we'll check that out. And I'm looking forward to the season premiere of The Walking Dead. And I'm looking forward to checking out more of Fear the Walking Dead. So bring on Negan, bring on season 7. So, okay. So next up, we're going to talk about a possible spoiler for Doctor Strange that was teased apparently one of the TV spots recently that came out. So if you don't want to hear about this spoiler, I would not listen for a couple minutes. Just say 5 minutes just in case. So right now is when I'm going to start talking about it right now. So it sounds like the Eye of Agamotto in Doctor Strange. I swear I never say that correctly. I have friends like, dude, you're not saying it right. It's like me with Star Wars stuff. If somebody says Darth Vader or, Luke, I am your father. I'm like, well, excuse me, it's actually, no, I am your father in my best geek voice. So yeah, but some people do that to me with some of the Marvel stuff that I'm not really into. I've never really read much of Doctor Strange, so I really don't know a lot about it, but I kind of speculated it on this as well, the little bit I know. It seems like that the Eye of Agamotto is probably going to be the Time Stone, one of the Infinity Stones, and a lot of people were thinking that was happening, and one of the TV spots kind of confirmed it a little bit, so it's not been officially revealed, but comments from Kevin Feige have kind of, maybe cleared it up a little bit. So he talked to Entertainment Weekly, and he told that it is a source of his powers, but mention I'm reading this actually off comicbookmovie.com, so check that out. But it says he mentioned specifically that it gives him the ability to, quote, screw around with time. Director Scott Derrickson meanwhile added the following: "It was cool. We knew we didn't have to improve greatly upon what was in the comics for it to be interesting for a modern audience." So that really, I don't know, it's not really like saying yes, it is the Time Stone, but it really does make sense, doesn't it? I mean, to me, that really makes sense. And the thing is about the Infinity Stones, I'm kind of going to go off here a little bit on something else, but it's going to be interesting to see when Thanos gets all these Infinity Stones. Like, the Eye of Agamotto is going to be a really big source of his power. How's that going to affect him? Like, how is he, when he takes the Mind Stone from Vision's head, how is that going to hinder Vision? Is it going to kill him? Is it going to destroy him? Is it going to weaken him to the point where he's not as powerful as he is? Because I know he gets his powers from that. But I wonder if some of his power has been kind of implanted in his just whole being, and it's just the main focus is from the Mind Stone in his forehead. So it's going to be interesting to see that. So I wonder if they're going to actually say yes or no if the eye is actually the Time Stone in the Doctor Strange film coming up. But it'll be interesting to see if it is. But I kind of had a thought that it might, because of the way that they can kind of, I wasn't sure if they could do any kind of time manipulation, but some of the trailers kind of showed that it might. So I was kind of thinking maybe it would be, but I'm really excited to see this movie and check it out. I really hope they kind of reveal that, or if not, I hope they kind of tease it so you think, okay, that is what's coming for us who know better. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to Doctor Strange. Actually, next week I'm going to go ahead and buy my IMAX tickets and get them ready so we have our seats. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. I'm going to check that out when it comes out in November. So really looking forward to Doctor Strange. That's really exciting time. So next up, really quickly, I wanted to talk about something Joe Manganiello said. And I really hope I got it. Sometimes I get his name right, sometimes I don't. So, oh yeah, whatever. It's just, I butcher names sometimes, and sometimes I don't. It just depends. But yeah, I believe that's how you pronounce it. I believe that's what what I heard. But anyway, he was really quickly to kind of give some what we talked about last week. During the tour for The Accountant, Affleck was kind of trying to dial back a little bit the expectations for people talking about the Batman and making it, telling people, hey, it isn't as far along as we thought it was. So just kind of, no, just cool your jets for a minute, okay? So I don't think Joe Manganiello got the memo on that because Entertainment Tonight interviewed him, and apparently he had a recent health scare. So they asked him kind of how he was doing, and he says, quote, "Great, man, just getting ready to go shoot Batman in the spring," unquote. That, there's no way he's just guessing there. I mean, there's no way an actor that's probably one of the main characters in that film is just going to guess and take a shot in the dark. Oh, my film starts in the spring. Let's just take a shot in the freaking dark and tell him. But no, I guarantee you that that's what's happening. I don't know. It's really interesting to see because one of the heads from Warner Brothers about a month ago was saying that it was about 18 months out, which now it seems more of a possibility that it's 18 months until it's released, or maybe 18 months until shooting is finished, or pre-production wraps or something, or post-production could wrap. But I don't know. It just seems more and more that it's a lot farther along than Affleck was even pointing to last week, because he was very adamant after he had said a few things in another interview. He was clearing up the Collider that, hey, back off just a minute. It's not even official yet. Even though they dragged him out at the director's panel for DC at Comic-Con. So we know he's going to be the director. I guarantee you when he inked that deal with Warner Brothers, it was like, okay, I'm going to do this, but I get to direct a solo Batman film and maybe a couple other of these of my choosing. I think he's going to direct more than the solo Batman film, in my opinion. Yes, he gets to be Batman. Yes, he gets to be in Justice League. He gets to be his own Batman movie. That's great. But he's a director now at heart. I really do think he's going to want to... I think he's going to want to do more than just the Batman, directing-wise. So that'll be exciting to see if he does something else. I alone would love to see him direct a Deathstroke film. I know I'm getting way ahead of myself. I know, calm the hell down, dude. I'm getting ahead of myself here. But yeah, I really would like to see that because he sounded like he kind of understands a little bit more of that character. It seems like he's probably read the New 52 run. I hope he's reading the Rebirth comic of Deathstroke because that's just fantastic. If you're a comic reader or you're not sure about your comics, right now, go out and read the Deathstroke run for Rebirth. It's one of my favorites. I'm not reading a lot right now. The Rebirth is what I can. I would go out right now and get that, and also Suicide Squad. Those are the two best titles in my opinion right now. Yeah, besides, well, I've also heard Superman's a really good title. So, but anyway, that's way off topic here. But yeah, be cool to see him doing more than just the Batman movie directing-wise. And I think that's something that could possibly happen. Him making a big deal like that with Warner Brothers, also for those other films, I'm sure that was all included. So yeah, that's going to be really interesting to kind of see how that works. So, did Mr. Manganiello just, like, spoil everything for everybody? Notice how I haven't heard DC or Warner Brothers come out and say, no, okay, he was mistaken, we meant this date or meant this. I haven't heard any of that yet. So, I'm just assuming what he's saying is true. So, but yeah, I'm really pumped for that. I'm really hoping this is true. Let's really put it that way. Because if it's true, we're going to get some serious casting news coming up soon. I mean, if they're going to be starting to shoot in the spring, they'll have casting down probably by January, February. So it'll be interesting to see in the next few months, like when casting starts popping up, if it really does. Because if it doesn't, if we get to like March maybe, and we have no casting news, I'm going to believe that it's probably not going to happen just yet. And maybe he's just going to start to train or get ready for the Batman. Well, even though he says he's getting ready to go shoot Batman in the spring, so maybe it's not just that. So I don't know. Maybe, like I said, haven't heard anything from Warner Brothers debunking this, so we'll see how that works out. But okay, so I'm going to move on to our next topic really quickly here. Let me click off this link. Okay, so I'm right now I'm getting a lot of my news from comicbook.com and comicbookmovie.com and batman-news.com. Really great sites to check out. They have some really good writers on these sites. Comicbookmovie.com has their own podcast as well. You guys should check out. It's called The Weekly Planet. Really, really good, really hilarious podcast. So, guys should check that out. But I kind of also really quickly when we're talking about websites, I wanted to also mention that it's very, very much under construction at the time. It don't look that great. I'm trying to figure some stuff out, trying to work it out, doing it myself with the help of Wix.com for my website. But TheGeekBlend.com is up and it is live. So go check that out. Sign up, comment on posts. I would love to see you guys kind of join the community. It would be fantastic. So go over there to TheGeekBlend.com, check it out. When I have a video up on YouTube, whether I wrote a review this week for a film, I put it on there. Posting really quick news articles during the day. And I'm going to link my podcasts and my videos and everything else. My Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter is all linked there too as well. So it's all kind of like all the Geek Blend all in one. So you can go there, check that out at thegeekblend.com. I really appreciate it. But again, like I said, it's very under construction. It's a little ugly. I'm trying to work some kinks out. So I really hope you guys enjoy it. So go check out TheGeekBlend.com. So, okay, back to some news. Okay, J.J. Abrams revealed a surprising detail about Rey and Kylo Ren's duel in The Force Awakens. So you might, I'm going to read this off comicbookmovie.com really quickly. So you might think that the final battle between Rey and Kylo Ren in Star Wars The Force Awakens was carefully planned out from start. But in the video below, director J.J. Abrams reveals that Selma Helmer, Ava DuVernay, played a role in the inclusion of one of the sequence's most memorable moments. That is the shot where the hero goes on the attack against Ren and was added during reshoots. That's not all, though, they say, as Abrams also decided to include the shot where Rey takes a breather, closes her eyes, and feels the Force through her. How much of an impact did that have? Well, it's easy to imagine the whole battle feeling a lot different had that not been there. But check out that clip below and be sure to let us know what you think. Okay, so yeah, go to comicbookmovie.com. This article here, there are videos there. So it seems like if they didn't go back for reshoots, or he didn't have some kind of like, because I'm sure he saw it when going through, when he says, "You need a teacher," and he has her forced against the cliff, and she, instead of saying what she said in the film, she was originally going to say, "You monster," and then kind of go on the attack. But what they did was, with the reshoots, is they gave her that moment where she closed her eyes, took a breath, and felt the Force through her. And in my opinion, I think she let both the light and the dark in, because if you see her actions and her aggressiveness when she's fighting him, I believe it's the dark side peeking through the Force that's coming through her completely. She's untrained. She doesn't know how to pull both the light and the dark. Pull from the light only or not the dark side and keep the dark side at bay. So I think this is both just coming head on through her and just everything coming out at once. That's why she was able to beat him, because she literally just let go and let the Force take over and do its thing. And a lot of people, bitched about how, he's been trained for so much longer, but yet she just kicked his butt in that slow amount of time. It's because she let the Force in and it took control. And like I said, I believe it was mostly the dark side that came in through her, with the light side kind of holding her back at the end when she could have finished him off easily like that. So glad they put that in there. It makes so much of a difference in the film if you think about it. And then the other thing he was talking about with that director friend of his, giving her a little bit more aggressive shots where she has those lunge moments. Almost she looks like Palpatine with those lunge moments. That's why some people are kind of like speculating that she is a Palpatine lineage, because maybe he cloned a lot of himself and maybe kind of made children from himself somehow, or he probably fathered many children down the galaxy. I'm guessing he was not the best guy and probably had numerous women around, to take advantage of, and I'm sure he had more than one child. So, in my opinion, I guess I'm not really going to go into it that much, because if we did, we'd be here for another hour. I think there's no way in hell I think that she's Luke's daughter. Too easy. She's not Han and Leia's daughter. They would have said something. So I think she's either related to Obi-Wan Kenobi somehow. Okay, three things. She's either related to Obi-Wan Kenobi somehow. She's either some kind of byproduct of Palpatine, or she's just the newest version of the Chosen One. Not Anakin reincarnated per se, like some people say. I think every generation of the Force, after the Chosen One has not been around I think there's always a Chosen One. Whether they are brought up with the Force or not is another thing. Sometimes they might be brought into the Force, sometimes they might not. So I think that there was always a Chosen One. Maybe she was Immaculate Conception, just like Anakin. Maybe all of the versions of the Chosen One are Immaculate Conception. I don't know. But that might be one of the best theories out there. So we'll probably get into that more in the Star Wars theories and speculations once we get into a Star Wars podcast. And I promise, with what I can do with Star Wars talk, I'll keep those as short as I can. So I'm not going to promise anything. Maybe I'll upload 2 parts if it gets really long. Or I'll just re-record something, because I really don't want to put up like hour-and-a-half long podcasts. But we're getting close to 40 minutes, getting a little bit close to where I wanted to kind of end here. So that's a really cool thing from J.J. Abrams. Also, really, really quickly, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Sophia Boutella, Sienna Miller, and some more actresses are actually in the running to play Domino in Deadpool 2. Okay, so Lizzie Kaplan from Masters of Sex, Mary Elizabeth Winstead from 10 Cloverfield Lane, Sienna Miller from American Sniper, Sophia Boutella from Star Trek Beyond, Stephanie Stigman from Spectre, and Sylvia Hoeks, Overspell. Apparently it will test, or are already going to test for the part, so all of those actresses will be great. All of them. So Sienna Miller will be great too, but we already had the British blonde with Keira Knightley played Domino before, so it'd be interesting to see how that works out, but see who's going to get this role. But it's been rumored for a while now that she was going to be alongside Cable in Deadpool 2, and this is confirming it, so that's great to see. I'm hoping we get some more casting news down the road for Deadpool 2, including who is going to play Cable. And I hope it's not Stephen Lang. I don't like that. I think he's a good actor. I just don't think he's up for that. I want somebody like, let's pull somebody, younger a little bit, like, not super young, because Cable's an older guy, but, do like they did with Deathstroke, Joe Manganiello, bringing a guy that's kind of Ben's age, or bringing a guy that's Ryan Reynolds' age to kind of go alongside of him. Don't have to cast an older guy who maybe can't do it for as much longer as they might want him to do it if they keep going on to that. So that's cool that they're getting ready to cast Domino, and Deadpool 2 is shaping up really well, so that's great. Also, last but not least, I wanted to touch quickly on something. In a deleted scene from The Force Awakens, Entertainment Weekly debuted this. It's just really quickly short, so Force Awakens is getting a new Blu-ray release next week. It's like a 3D special edition, which is going to finally include like a commentary and all kinds of stuff. So I guess I have to buy that too, because I want to hear a commentary. I really stinks that didn't come on the first one. I know they were going to do that. There's going to be another special edition on the road. That's fine. Us Star Wars fans, we're used to this, and we're going to buy it anyway. So Unkar Plutt, the junk owner from the planet of Jakku, that was, I guess, kind of had, the one who was given Rey when she was younger, who, 60 portions. Yeah, him. He, apparently for 1/4 portion, no, not really, he was trying to catch up with Rey at Maz Kanata's castle to kind of, like, get back at her for stealing the Falcon. She stands up for herself, but he disarms her and demands that she go with him. Unfortunately for Mr. Unkar Plutt, Chewbacca steps in and they have a standoff, but then the clip cuts away. And this is what Entertainment Weekly released, but, we know what comes up next if you have read the novelization, so spoiler if you haven't. Just as he disarms Rey, Chewie disarms him, like literally pulls his freaking arms off. It's a callback to The New Hope, where he told 3PO, like, it's not wise to upset a Wookiee. Wookiees are known to pull people's arms off out of their sockets when they lose. So yeah, it's that's really cool to see. I really hope it's on there. I remember when I read the novelization for The Force Awakens, that I was like, why wasn't this in the movie? We would have stood up and cheered if Chewie would have ripped his arms off. It would have been so cool to see. But yeah, a little bit much for younger kids, I think. But, oh well, that would have been so much fun to see. It would have got a roar from my theater. Real quickly, my theater that I went to in Fort Wayne, Carmike, and Jefferson Point, that place clapped, cheered, laughed, cried. I mean, it was one of the best experiences in a theater I've ever had. So my Force Awakens experience was great. I'm going to do a different IMAX theater for Rogue One, so hopefully it will be as good. I don't know, I might go back to that theater. It just doesn't have assigned seating, so we have to wait in line. I think there was a 2.5 mile line for The Force Awakens. So hopefully it won't be as bad this time. But I got there quite a bit early, so I was a lot closer than a lot of people were. So anyway, that's the last story I want to talk about today. I know there's quite a bit more stuff that happened during the week, but I could keep going, but the podcast, we're getting about 44 minutes already. So I didn't want to go into too much detail on everything. Just kind of wanted to touch on some little things I wanted to talk about and talk to you about TheGeekBlend.com. You go check it out. That has the podcast. It has the YouTube channel. My Facebook page is linked there. All the stories I post on there, articles I write. I wrote a movie review on there this week. It's up there right now. Again, it is under construction, and when I mean under construction, it looks like shit. So don't hold that against me. Just keep checking back. I got some stuff working on. So I never worked with this website editor for this website. So hopefully it looks a little bit better next time you check it out sometime next week. So anyway, thanks for listening, guys. I'm Jeff, and this is the Geek Blend. And like I said, I don't have a title for this weekly podcast yet. So we're just going to go with Geek Blend Podcast for now. So I'm really glad you're listening to this. I'm really glad if you're here on YouTube checking it out. Thanks again. If you're on YouTube, click like. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Please share this video. If you're on iTunes or if you're on Podomatic or if you're on one of the other podcast sites, please subscribe to the podcast. That'd be great. We'd love to have you every week. So, but anyway, thanks guys for listening. Have a great Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thursday's tomorrow, so technically it's almost Thursday now. So enjoy the rest of your week. Have a really good weekend. May the force be with you. Keep on geeking, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.